Assalamu alaikum. What's up, guys? So today, Huzafa has already told you that today we are going to enter into the most important phase of any software development lifecycle, which is deploying your web app or deploying your business and making it live for the people who are going to purchase your services. So having your business or having your web app locally deployed locally, that doesn't make sense in real world, because you have to show. There's a famous quote in Urdu, we call it "Dikhega nahi to bikega kaise." So you have to show to the world, then they will go, then they are going to purchase it. So this is what today we are going to learn: how to deploy your web app into Azure cloud. And the platform which we are going to use or is Django. So we are going to make the framework which we are going to use is Django, and we are going to build our web app. Actually, we are not going to build our web app. I will just provide you the link of my GitHub, in which I'm going to push my web app right now. So you can pick up the web app from there, and you can deploy that web app into Azure, because that's not the core. That's not our core goal to learn how to deploy a web app, because Django is a separate course inshallah we will teach in future, nearly after this workshop. So that will be the surprise, because that will be quite long boot camp, because Django is a wonderful framework for building web apps, for building production ready web apps. So today we will just build a hello world web app, and we will deploy that web app onto Azure. The core purpose or goal of this today's workshop is to learn how to deploy your web apps on Azure. And let's start without wasting any second. I would suggest don't try to build alongside with me, because if you will be building alongside me, then you will lose so many concepts, because this workshop is quite long, and we will try to cover every single aspect. So just try to write down. I mean, open up a notepad, or have a pencil or something in your hand, so that you can write down the steps. Actually, I have written down every step, so you don't need to write down. But it is considered as a good practice if you write down the concepts which you think are tricky for you, which you think are, I mean, little bit harder for you. Because I just write down those steps or points which are harder for me. Maybe those points are simpler for you, but rest of the points are are quite difficult for you. So that's a good practice to write down those points or concepts that you don't understand, so that you can ask the question at the end of the workshop or webinar. So these are the steps I have written down over here. I will provide you this file as usual at the end of the workshop, and then you can follow up these steps. Actually, I took long. I came late, 15 minutes late. The reason was I was writing these steps. These steps are actually step 1, 2. There are so many steps. Yeah, actually repeating that. These are around 25 steps maybe. So I mean, let's build our first web app. All right. So if you are not familiar of Django, let me give you a quick starter. If you're not familiar of Django, don't worry. We will learn how to build web apps in Django in the upcoming workshop. Not today, not day after tomorrow, but inshallah after a month we will have a separate bootcamp on Django. And today you don't need to be very worried about what is going inside Django app and how we build this Django app. You just need to focus on how to deploy a web app, because you will learn how to build a Django app later on. That's easy, but deploying is more harder than learning Django itself. So mark my words, because when you will go to the production side, you will remember these words. All right, so let's start. Let's create our first project. For creating our first project, I'm gonna say, all right. So for creating your first Django app, I'm gonna give us quick starter. First of all, you have to install Django in your operating system. Uh, for installing Django, you must have Python pre-installed in your laptop or computer. And then when you install the Python, you will install Django, and you will install Django by writing this Python -m, Python -m pip install Django. So I'm going to write it over here. I have already installed this thing, so it will say that requirements are already satisfied. But when you will run it first time, it will install from the scratch. So this is the command for installing Django. And after installing Django, open up your VS Code. All right, so VS Code is a quite good IDE. It is very nice IDE. So I love to code in VS Code because it is very friendly IDE, and it has so many features. It has features of auto completion. It has multiple features that you can use, and it will make your work very easy. So open up the VS Code in that directory in which you want to build your project. So let me show you how you will do this. Let's say I want to build my Django apps let's say I want to build my Django app in this directory. So I have a Django directory in which I have multiple projects. So like you can see basic form, first project, learning user. So these are around 6 projects.
Furkan, you are not clearly audible.
Can you repeat again? Am I audible?
Yes.
Any guys, can you hear me? Can you please respond, any one of you?
Yes, we can hear you, but sometimes the voice is like cutting and fluctuating, so it's not clear sometimes.
Oh, okay. Did anyone miss anything? Like, do I need to repeat anything, or shall I continue?
Not from my side. Not from my side.
All right. So there are so many faces I'm seeing. Salim, Haider, Hassan, Arshad, Hiba, Ahmad, Mirza. Do you have any problem? Do you guys have any problem? There are 13 attendees. Or shall I move ahead? So no response means everything is going perfect. So let's move ahead. All right, so as I told you, you need to first create your project in the directory Django project. So this is my directory in which I'm going to create my Django project. For creating my Django project, I would go to VS Code, and I would simply write this command, which is Django admin. So let me write it for you. Django admin start project. And now this is small, this is small. This sign means that if you ever read this sign in any documentation, this is a professional way of writing snippets or something that is not part of the code. So this is a small snippet which tells that the project name will come here. So don't include these small brackets or sign into your while writing the code. So Django admin start project. Let's write the name of the project which you want to create. So let's say this is our webinar, or let's say, let me call it event number 3. So I'm calling this project event. That's a hard to pronounce. Let me say Django project. Mission Fury. That's a nice name. Mission Fury. So we're gonna call our project Mission Fury. Let's build it. So now you can see, as soon as I hit the enter button, you will see that Mission Fury is created over here. This project is created over here. So that's a very nice quality of Django, that whenever you create a project, you will just write start Django blah blah blah, and it will create the project from scratch for you. So every file is already built in over here. So again, I'm not going to dig into much detail of Django, because that's the part of later workshops. And now, when we have created our project, now we're going to create our web app, our first app inside the project. So make sure that you keep the difference between the projects and the web apps, because in one project you can have multiple web apps. So let's say if a company is having a very big project, in that big project the company is building different kind of thing. So consider it like that. So you have one big project and you're building multiple web apps in that project. That's a good quality of Django. So once I have created the project, I'm gonna go inside that project. So I'm gonna say cd mission Fury. I will enter that project, and now I'm gonna write Python manage.py. Don't worry if you don't get every single command that I'm writing on screen. Python manage.py, and now I'm gonna say the start app. That's a way of building a or starting a new app. So I'm gonna say start app, and I'm gonna pass my app name, first app name. So I'm gonna call it, let's say first app. Let me call it first app. So it's a first app, and yeah, hit enter. And now in the inside Mission Fury, our first app folder is created. In the first app, you will see different kind of Python files. So this is the first, this is first Django app that you're going to create. So in this workshop, you are learning two things side by side, Django as well as Azure. So maze karo sab. Anyways, let's move ahead. Now let's run step number 3, make relevant changes to project file, for example, include templates, etc. So now when we have created our project, now what are we going to do? Now let's say open up your, now we will include some things, or we will do some changes in your code so that we can run a basic Django app locally. So for what are those changes that we are going to do? Let me show you. So first of all, open your manage. Don't open your manage.py file. Just open up your setting. First tab, Mission Fury. Where is again Mission Fury? Yeah, again over here. So that, yeah, open up inside Mission Fury. So there is a main branch of Mission Fury, and there is a sub folder of Mission Fury again inside the main folder. All right, so keep it in your mind. So inside the subfolder, I'm going to open up setting.py file, and inside setting.py file, what I'm going to say, I'm going to write template directory equals to os.path.join. Yeah, so os.path.join. This line is used for joining two paths. So this settings.py file from different file. So I'm going to copy different things from here. So this is the line I'm going to write over here. So let me copy and paste from different project. So this setting.py file is from different project. So I'm copying the code from there into this into this project. So I'm going to say os.path.join base directory. Base directory is over here, and base directory is the directory which it contains a path of your project. So base project. So I'm gonna say base directory and template. So it's gonna combine these two paths, base directory path and slash template path. This code is not relevant to you. I'm just gonna create a basic boilerplate code so that we can deploy that boilerplate code onto Azure. And side by side, I'm explaining these things. So if you're getting it 50%, that's okay. That's perfectly okay for you. So I'm gonna copy static directory file as well. So this is like, again, used for including CSS and JS file into your Django app, because you are going to have some kind of styling into your Django app. So for including styling into your Django app, you have to write static directory. This kind of, you have to include static path as well into your Django app. All right. And now we will go down, and now inside templates inside templates list, I will go to directory, and over here I will write templates directory, and I'm gonna again write down comma as well alongside of template directory. So that's the necessary part. You have to carry out the same way as I'm doing. Now go further down, and you have to write this thing as well. So static file, these are static file and static root path. So these are the basic. This is basic boilerplate code, and you have to write it down in order to make your Django app work properly. So static root path is static, and inside static folder you will have your, as I told you, styling of your web app. So let's create a template folder. So as I said, I provided the path of template folder, but there is no template folder inside this thing. So for creating a template folder, I'm gonna say, let's close this thing. No, I don't need this anymore. So Mission Fury, I'm inside Mission Fury folder, and inside Mission Fury folder, this is the main root folder. Make sure that you include templates folder into your main root folder, which is Mission Fury, not in the subfolder of Mission Fury. So over here, I will click right click, and I will say new folder, and I'm going to call it templates. Spelling is wrong. I'm going to call it templates. And I'm going to create one more folder, which is static for styling, as I told you earlier. So inside template folder, as I told you, okay, inside template folder, I'm going to create one more folder, which is first app. As I told you, we are working on our first app. We are going to include everything in our first app. So I'm going to create first app folder inside templates folder, and I'm going to say inside static folder, I'm going to create two folders. Let me confirm it by going over here. And where is the static folder? Yes, over here. Yeah. So yeah, in the Mission Fury, sorry, in the static folder, we will create a new folder, which is CSS, because we are going to include styling of CSS. And now again in the static folder, we will include GS folder. So why did we create these two folders? Because as I told you, in styling and interaction with your web app, so we are going to include JS file in this JS folder and CSS file in this CS folder. So everything is very manageable. We do coding in a very managed way, basically inside Django. So that's the beauty of Django. Everything is managed inside Django app. Inside CSS folder, I can say I can create new file, which is my styles.css, my styles.css, and I can say h1, and I'm gonna say color, and let me write blue. So I'm gonna create whenever I'm gonna create h1, it's going to be in blue color, and let me close it. I don't need to create JS file because right now I don't need JS file. I just need CSS file, and in fact I don't need CSS file. I'm just creating it for fun. And all right, so let's move ahead. Yeah, setting.py file, we have done setting.py file. Now we will go to after setting.py file, we will go to url.py file. So this url.py file is from another file. So inside Mission Fury, I will look at settings. I will look for url.py file, which is over here. I'm gonna open it, urls.py file. Yeah, so it is open. And inside this file, what I'm gonna do changes. I'm gonna follow up from another file. I'm gonna open up. Yeah, so it is open up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna include this thing, this line. Okay, let's remove this comma from here, and again this $sign mean the basic, the index file. I will tell you what it means. And I'm going to import all the necessary packages or things. So let's remove this thing and import all these things. All right, so why it is giving me error? All right, so from webinar app import views. So I do not have my app name is not webinar app. My app name is its name is first app. So you can see our app name is, where is it? Where is it? Static folder. Let me narrow it down. Yeah, our app name is first app over here. So I'm
Asham
gonna
raised a hand, so I think he is having question. Asham.
Yes, Asham, do you have any question?
Yeah. So why are we using like Django rather than Flask for this deployment?
All right, I'm going to tell this reason at the end of the workshop. I will tell
Okay.
you
Yeah.
why will you
Okay.
why
Thank you.
use
Thank you.
why
Thank
use
you.
Django.
Yeah.
Okay, views.index. Why it's giving me the error views.index? Let me save it. Is it still giving me error? Right. So I guess I gotta, okay, all right. So let's go to views.index file. Where is it? It is over here, views.py file. Go to views.py file of your first app, and inside views.py file, make some changes. And I'm gonna bring some changes by following this views.py file. Where is it? By webinar, this is webinar project, and template views.py, it is webinar app over here, and views.py file is over here. So I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna bring these changes to my this view.py file. So I created function, index function, and I'm passing request in this. And inside render is basically, uh, basically Django is a, like, you have used MVC framework, model view controller. So Django is a MTC, a model template view. Model template view, MTV framework. So Django is based upon MTV framework, model template view. It is not MVC. It is quite close to MVC, but this is not exactly MVC, because why we call it MTC, model template view? What are the templates? That's a long story. Again, I said you don't need to memorize every single thing right now. You just need to understand the basic layout or basically deployment part. So I'm just doing this code so that it can render my app. This is a view file. View file means I need to show something to my user. So user will view. So that's you can get basic knowledge of things from this file. So now we have created our view file as well. We have changed, modified URL file as well. Let's go back again. Okay, I was doing a mistake, which was webinar app. It's not webinar app, it's called first app. So I need to change it. I'm going to call it first app and index.html. So what is index.html? I need to create index.html file inside my Mission Fury folder, Mission Fury project. So where is my first app? Here is my first tab. And where is my templates folder? So in the first tab, I'm going to create index.html5, index.html5. And in this thing, I'm going to say doc. All right, so that's a short form. Right, just write doc inside VS Code and it will create the basic boilerplate for you. So I'm going to say h1, and inside h1, I'm going to say uh, I'd say welcome to my first web app. And inside h2, I'm going to say, do you like our webinar? Do you like our Azure webinar series? If yes, then do nothing. If no, then again do nothing. Okay, so this, you have created your index.html file. So I'm gonna pass the path of index.html file over here, because index.html file is inside the folder of first app. As you can see over here, index.html file is inside the folder of first app, and first app is inside templates folder. And templates file path is provided inside the settings.py file path. We provided in the very starting, we opened up settings.py file, and we did some settings changes. Those changes were all related to these changes that we are making over here. Again, you don't need to understand this thing, because I'm going to make you confused. Okay, so views.py file is in order, index.html file is in order as well. How can I miss hello world? That's necessary. That's very necessary thing for any developer in the world. Even the developer in the Apple company will still write this thing, hello world. शान है ये तो हमारी. Okay, so let's move ahead. Do we need to make any further changes? Model.py file, we don't need to view.py file. Okay, we have done changes in this as well. And webinar app, inside webinar app and inside webinar. Okay, we don't need to do any further changes. Our boilerplate code is ready. Yeah, one thing we need to change over here is, I mean, we need to add one more line that I'm remembering. I just wrote down in my previous project. Let me confirm it from here, from this template folder, which was index.html file. Yeah, this one. So I need to include this line, these two lines as well. So make sure that you write this load static file, load static template below this doc type HTML. I mean, that's a formatting you need to follow up. You don't need to, you cannot change the formatting of Django. That's a built-in thing. So why we write load static? Because we need to include the static files into our web app as well. If you want to include the CSS file in your web app, you need to pass this link as well inside this thing. So I'm going to include over here as well. Yeah, so actually we don't need it right now. Let's keep our project simple. Don't include, and I don't need this as well because it will make you confused. Let's write it. Let's write it very simple. Don't include any CSS right now. Yeah. So now let's run our app, and you can run your app by writing Python manage.py start server. Python manage.py start server. It's giving me error. Why? The reason is, I guess it's the start. Let me confirm it. Is it start app or it will start server? Okay, start project, then start app, and then it's run server. So okay. It's not start server, it's run server. My bad. We got one error over here. It is saying static file directory setting should be contained static root setting. Okay, inside my settings.py file, it is giving me error. How did I come to know it is giving me error in setting.py file? Okay, where is it? Views. So it's first have views. Let me run it again. Oh, why? Okay, let's go to settings.py file, and inside settings.py file, let's say we don't want to include this thing. Let's remove it. And okay, let's keep it. Don't remove it. System check system and some issues. Setting file static directory setting should not contain the static root setting. Static root setting. Okay, it's saying this line is giving me error. Let me remove this thing and now again try. Okay, now it worked. So now it's working. Now it is saying you have 17 unapplied migrations. So you need to apply migrations. That's the part of that's how Django works. I mean, you need to first apply migration whenever you run your app. First of all, you apply migrations, then you run your server. Because when you set up your first project in Django, Django does not include every single file, or whenever you include some packages in Django file or Django project, you need to do migrations of those projects, those packages or those libraries. So you will, whenever you will run your server for the first time in Django, you will apply, you will run this command, which I'm going to run right now in front of you. So Python manage.py, you will write migrate. So again, I'm not going to explain it in a very depth. I'm trying to cover every single aspect, so time is very short. Yeah, so now it's working perfectly. It's not giving me any warning or any error. So let's go to, all right, so our app is deployed locally. Welcome to my first web app. Do you like Azure Webinar Service? If yes or if no, whatever, yellow world. And yeah, it's working perfectly. Let me run it over here. Yeah, it's working perfectly. Okay, now it's time to deploy our web app on an Azure cloud. So our boilerplate code is set up, and let's see what we can do with this. Let me close it. Okay, so this is our project. Our project starts from Mission Fury from here. This is our first app, and it goes till here. And then there is a second folder, Mission Fury, which is the subfolder of the main root folder, and it contains these files, and then static and template folder. And then these are some dependencies that come along with that come alongside of Django app. Manage.py file is used to manage every single thing inside Django app. Right. So, right. One more thing that we need to do over here is allowed host. We have to pass allowed host which we want to. I mean, what are the hosts that we want to allow while running our web app? So these hosts are. Open settings. So allowed host, inside allowed host, as you can see my screen. I'm gonna copy this thing. So I want to allow localhost. So our app should run on localhost as well. Our app should run on this loopback address as well. This is also a localhost. Either you can write this or you can write this. It's up to you. I'm gonna write both of them so that I cannot encounter any error. And this middle one, for instance, I'm gonna remove this line. What does it mean? Why I'm removing this line? Because our app is right now not deployed on our Azure web server. So this line comes from, this line is a URL of our Azure app. So when we deploy our app, Azure is going to give you a URL on which your app will be deployed. So you will pick up that URL and you will write it down over here so that your app can run on this URL. So right now our app is not deployed, so we don't have any URL. So I will just remove it and I will keep it. I will just keep these two URLs. So let's move ahead. Step number 5, moving towards deployment for generating requirement. Also, all right. So whenever you are moving towards deployment, first of all, you need to make requirements.txt file. Okay, time is very, very less. Rafa is telling me. I pray to God that we will complete the deployment today because it's very, very long. And deployment is a core functionality that every developer must know. I mean, it's not a negotiable skill. Every industry demands this skill that you must know deployment. If you don't know how to eat, you must know how to deploy your project. This is how much it is important. आना बेशक ना आए लेकिन ये आना चाहिए. Pip freeze requirement. Okay, so whenever you want to generate a requirement.txt file, you write this thing. Pip freeze greater than sign and requirement.txt file, and this will generate requirements.txt file for you. Okay, so now you can see this requirements.txt file is generated, and make sure that the hierarchy of your project is same to the hierarchy, is very similar to the hierarchy of my project. So how can you follow up the hierarchy? Let me show you in which we are building this Mission Fury project. So in Mission Fury project, requirements.txt file should be outside of these 4 folders. It shouldn't go inside of these 4 folders. So you need to keep it inside your mind. So requirement.txt folder, let's open up your requirement.txt folder. And where is it? Over here. So as you can see, we have so many packages inside this requirement.txt folder, which are irrelevant. Let's say we are not working on TensorFlow. So as you can see that we have XGBoost, which is machine learning model. So we did not include this library inside our Django folder or Django app. So whenever you generate, like you have TensorFlow, TensorBoard, and so many things. So we do not require, or we do not need all these packages. So what you will do, you will pick up all these packages and you will simply press package switch. We will remove everything. Now you can go home. I'm just kidding. Okay. Requirements.txt file. We will add our own dependencies. Let's say, what are the dependencies? First dependency is Django. Django itself. Django is a library that we need to include in our web app, so that whenever you deploy it. Okay. So I'm gonna open up this requirement.txt file. I'm gonna copy this requirement, and I'm gonna write it down over here. So I just need these 4 requirements. I do not need all these list of libraries, because those, why did I remove those libraries? That's again, you can ask me this question at the end of this webinar. Right now the time is very short. So keep these questions in the mind, because I have so many things that I want to tell you right now, because but due to time limitation I cannot tell you every single thing regarding Django, regarding production, regarding deployment, regarding this requirements.txt file. Okay, so let's keep it short and bring these 4 libraries or dependencies inside your requirement.txt file and remove everything else. Okay. Now you are done with this thing as well. You have generated requirement.txt file. Now go to step number 6, which is install Docker and install Azure tools and install Azure repos. Now you need to, whenever you are moving towards deployment, you need to have these tools already installed into your VS Code. Now how do you install this thing? I have already installed these things in my VS Code, but I'm going to tell you how you can install. Go to this, as you can see, this sign extensions. Go to this sign extensions, and now over here you can write Azure tools. Okay, are you kidding me? All right, so Azure tools, as you can see, my Azure tools are already installed. It is saying me, do you want to disable that? No, I don't want to disable it. So whenever you will do this first time, you will see install button over here. So you will click install and it will install the Azure tools for you. And secondly, when you are done with this thing, you will say Azure tools and Azure repo, also Docker. You need to also install Docker, but right now my Docker is already installed. Docker is pre-installed into your VS Code. Whenever Microsoft shipped VS Code, they ship Docker alongside of VS Code, so you don't need to install it. But I did it. I installed 2 things. First one is Docker, and second one is Docker Explorer. You don't need Docker Explorer, but if you get any error, I will suggest you to install Docker Explorer as well. But for instance, you don't need Docker Explorer. You just need to install Docker if it is not installed by default. Third thing is Azure repos. So you again need to write Azure repos, and yeah, so over here you will see Azure repos, and you need to install it over here. Again, it is not necessary thing. You don't need Azure repos, because if you get any error, just install it. Just give it a shot. Okay, so Azure repos, again, we have installed our dependencies, and now let's move ahead. Starting step number 7. Okay, whenever you install your dependencies, make sure that you restart your VS Code, because if you don't restart your VS Code, you will get some error. The VS Code will not work properly. In the VS Code, click on Azure icon and then log in. Okay. And now we need to log in inside your VS. Okay, so when you're done with the installation of all these things, you will see this Azure sign over here. You need to click it, and this will open up this thing, Azure services and Azure for. So my Azure is already login over here. But when you will click first time, you will see login, or it will say it will prompt you to log in inside your Azure cloud service. So you will click the login, and it will open up a new tab for you, and you will provide your credentials over here. And once you are logged in, the tab will prompt you to close the tab. And when you will close the tab, inside this let's say menu, you will be automatically logged in. So you don't need to log in over here. So I'm already logged in. I'm going to click Azure for Students. So my web app is already deployed, but I'm going to tell you how to deploy it. All right, so step number 8. Come back to VS Code, open command palette, write down add Docker files to workspace. What's happening with my mouse? Okay, so select Python. All right, so go back to once you're logged in inside your Python, in the Azure CLI. Go to this. Okay, now how would you open your command palette? Press Control, then press Shift, and then press P. That's a short key. If you don't want to open it this way, you can open it like this. Terminal, okay, go to run, and inside run you will see, where is it? View, okay, in the view you will see command palette. So you can open it over here from here as well, or you can open it by short key by simply pressing Control Shift and P, and command palette will open up very easily for you. What you need to write inside command palette, you need to write add Docker files to workspace. So you will write, I'm making mistakes. Add Docker files. Okay, so as it prompted you towards add Docker files to workspace. So I'm gonna add Docker files to my workspace. We are making our, okay, so we have so many concepts over here. First of all, I told you about Django. Now we have Docker. Now you inquire me, what is Docker? I'm not gonna tell you what is Docker, literally. You can go home. I'm just kidding. Docker is a way to deploy different projects or different apps to the cloud. I mean, Docker is it's a separate container. It's a separate container. Like consider an example of freezer. Inside freezer or inside fridge, you want to keep your fruits separate and you want to keep your vegetables separate. Because if you intermix those two things, maybe it will cause some kind of fungus to your fruit. So you want to keep those things separate and well managed. So for managing your product or for managing your web app, you need to cover that web app and you need to put that web app inside a Docker container. So Docker container will take care of everything. Docker container will take care of the OS operating system running inside the web app, and Docker container will take care of rest of the dependencies. Like inside requirement.txt, we wrote so many dependencies that we need inside our project. Are you getting me? If you're not getting everything, if you're getting even 20%, that's wonderful for you. Trust me. You don't need to get every 100%, everything in 100%. All right. So secondly, you need to isolate everything. So Docker is used for isolating your web apps. So one web app should be isolated from the second web app. So because one web app dependencies are different from second web app dependencies. So let's say you are running, let's say I'm AI engineer. I work on different TensorFlow projects. So once a client came to me and he said, I want a project on TensorFlow 1.14. But right now in my laptop, I have TensorFlow 2.3 version. So 2.3 is not supported in 1.14 and 1.14 is not supported in 2.13, 2.3. What I'm going to do? Will I deprecate my TensorFlow version? No, I won't. I would create simply a Docker container and I would, whatever project I'm going to build for that client, I'm going to put that project inside the container. So that container is not the part of my laptop. That container is, it has its own operating system. It has its own libraries. It has its own dependencies. So it is not relevant to the TensorFlow, which is pre-installed in my laptop. So I guess I'm making sense. Let's move ahead. Docker files to workspace. So I'm going to click add Docker files to workspace. I wish I could tell you so many things, but alas, the day will come. All right, so what are we building? We are building Django app, so I'm going to click Python Django. So do you want to have Docker Compose file? Yes, definitely we want to have Docker Compose file. Don't ask me what is Docker Compose file. It's simple. Because it's another concept. Just focus on deployment. Enter the relative path to the app entry. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. Manage.py file. That was asking me to enter the relative path, just like in Windows, you need to provide the relative path to your root file. So on which port do I want to run my web app? It's 8000. I want to run my web app on 8000. Let's click enter. And yes, Docker launch configuration already exists. Do you want to override them? Yes, so I created these configuration previously, so I'm gonna override these configurations so that I can show you again everything from scratch. So as you can see, the beauty of this VS Code. Actually, we should have a separate course on VS Code. So how can we use VS Code? Because it contains so many things that we are not aware of. So let me show you the project hierarchy from here. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. So inside Mission Fury, we wanted to create these 4 files inside the Mission Fury, but unfortunately these 4 files are created outside our main root folder. So we will bring these 4 files inside our Mission Fury folder. Either we can bring it from this or we can bring it from here as well. So I can select Docker file, I can select from requirements. Why this is open? Let's close this thing. Let's close this as well. Webinar project is open. It is freezing me. Okay, so as you can see, Mission Fury is over here, and these files are created over here. Don't focus on this webinar folder because this is a separate project. All right. So we need these 4 files. So I'm going to click on this one, requirement.txt, and I'm going to press Shift, and I'm going to press again this one. So I need these 4 files. I'm going to pick up these 4 files, and I'm going to bring them inside my root folder. So now these all files are inside my root folder. Oh, why? What happened? What happened? Okay, they didn't come inside my root. Let me try it again. Pick up. Okay, it's not working from here. Let me do it shortly because I don't have time. I'm gonna bring them over here. Yeah, so it's saying we have already requirement.txt file. Yeah, we have already. I'm gonna replace it. So I just replaced my requirements.txt file. Whenever you run Docker command, it will automatically generate requirement.txt file for you. So either you can generate it yourself or Docker will generate it for you. I'm sorry. My laptop is not working properly. Shit. Got hanged. It's not responding properly. Where are the files? I cannot see the files. Docker compose and Docker ignore is outside. What you are doing outside? I cannot see you. I want to see you inside. Come here. Come inside. Yes, move, please. Alright, so Docker ignore is also included over here. Okay, so we have these 4. First step, we have first step, and we have everything lined. Docker ignored, the database SQL, and Docker compose file, Docker compose debug, and Docker file. Yeah, we have everything. All right, so okay, my system is doing is making some mistakes. So if I run out of if I go for if my system shut down, just think that I ran into problem. I ran into technical issues. I will be back in 5 minutes. So I will go till this system works properly. Okay, so now our every dependency is inside. So what we will do, we'll go to. I'm not gonna explain these files, but why we create these files. These files are just necessary for your project. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up this webinar folder, and I'm gonna replace my requirement.txt file with the older dependency. So as I just replaced my requirement.txt file, as I told you, so requirement.txt file, yeah, just replace these 4 things over here. Yeah, you don't need the rest of the dependencies. Yeah, so docker compose.yml. Open up this file, open up Docker file as well. Now what we need to do again, step number 8, you have specified code. Step number 7, if the created file are outside your project folder, then move them and get them inside folder project. As we did, our files were created outside our main folder, so we moved them inside our main folder. Step number 10, you will use different Docker image. So we will remove the default Docker image code and add our own custom code. So all right, so what does it mean? Right now inside Docker file, we have this code. We don't need this code. I'm gonna remove this all code over here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna include my own custom code. How I'm gonna do this? Just open up this file. I'm gonna open up this file, and I'm gonna copy everything from here. And inside my Docker folder, I'm gonna include this code. Okay. So I don't need this commented code. I'm gonna just say, okay. So again, I'm not gonna explain this thing, what's going inside, because that's a separate course that we will deal in future regarding Docker container. What is Docker? What is Docker orchestration? What is Docker? Why do we use Docker compose.yml file? So I'm gonna explain everything from scratch in our future workshops. So stay tuned, stay connected with us. Inshallah, you will be a complete web app developer in future for free of cost. That was the main point that we need to focus. Okay. Okay. So let's move ahead. Step number 11. Okay, step number 10. So I have done this step previously, allowed host. I have included these two lines in my allowed host file. So I don't need to do this thing again. Step number 11, now we will create whiskey.ini file in the main project folder. Now these are some strange names, some bizarre names that will make you think, what's going inside, man? There are so many things. There are multiple things that we need to remember. For the first time, it teased me as well. It was irritating, but later on it became comfortable. Okay, so you have customized your Docker file as well. Now what you need to do, again, you will open up, let's say, okay, so now you need to create a usg.py file, not usg.ini file, ini. So if you are familiar of PHP, which is dead language, not dead language, usg.ini, you need to include this usg, uwsgi.ini inside your project hierarchy. To make sure that, let me show you project hierarchy. So inside Mission Fury, you will see I included this file outside these four main folders. So usg.ini is over here. What I'm gonna write inside this file, so I'm gonna copy paste everything from here. So again, it's a web server file. usg is a web server. It's not actually the web server. Yeah, it's not exactly the web server. It's an intermediate path that connects your Azure web server and your local web server together. Also, sorry, Python web server. So Django comes up with usg web server. Don't focus on that thing. That's again tricky thing. You don't need to, you just copy paste right now. And for rest of the projects that you will build in your future, don't change. You don't need to know what is usg and what is the rest of the thing. You just need to follow up the hierarchy. All right, so now you can see what I'm gonna do. What changes I'm gonna bring over here is I need to change my webinar. Okay, so you can see this. My app name is not webinar. Sorry, my project name is not webinar. So I'm gonna replace this thing with my own project name, which is Mission Fury. Mission Fury. So you can see I just changed on both sides. They were written over here and it was written over here, so I changed on both lines and I replaced it with Mission Fury. You need to do it for both lines as well. Wherever you see, okay, so now this file is ready to go, and okay, let me see this Docker file again so that we don't yeah, so from blah 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 etc. Okay, it's perfect. You don't need to do any change over here. Okay, Docker Compose is perfect as well. Requirements.txt is perfect as well. Every file is perfect right now, and we have created usg.ini file as well. Now let's see the next step, which is I've copied every line from here. Step number 12. Now we will modify Docker file to add our own custom changes. We will modify a Docker file to add our own custom changes. What are the custom changes? My mouse is not working. It cannot work. Okay, so these are the custom changes. These, as I told you, we will change the Docker file. So as I did in front of you. So this is the step number 12. Says that you need to change your Docker file and you need to add your custom code. As I have done this thing before, so I don't need to again carry out this thing. Step number 13. Now we will build. Now we will build and test the image on VS Code and okay, so on VS Code and CMD palette, select Docker build image. Okay, So again, open up your command palette by saying Shift Control B, and just open up. Just say Docker build image. How you go every time? Docker build image. Okay, build image. Okay, so is it? Yeah, so Docker build image, I will click this thing, and what I'm gonna say, which file do I need to build? I need to build this one, Mission Fury, because this is our main project. This is not, we have two projects over here, so we have two projects that contain Docker. I'm gonna select Mission Fury, and I'm gonna call it Django latest. What is latest? Latest is a tag name of our, okay, so Django latest, I need to add one more thing over here, which is project name. Okay, so system is not working. Now it works. My project name is Mission Fury. So I need to include this thing as well. Mission, not mission, it's mission. Mission Fury and slash and Django latest. Perfect. It's perfect now. Where is it? Where am I? Over here. USB demo project latest. Okay, Django. Okay, it's okay, perfect. What's happening with me? It's working. Alright, so it's ready. Okay, now you can see inside over here in the terminal executing task Docker build. So this, when I run Docker build, it is gonna build my image. What is image? Image is a container. As I explained this thing, what is container before. So when you will run this thing, it will build the container for you. First of all, you need to build the container, then you need to run the container. So you build the container so that it will import all the necessary dependencies. And when you will run the container, it will run the web app for you. So your web app will be live. So now over here, when I was running first time, I got an error, which was invalid argument latest 4 minus 3. Why it is saying invalid argument? Okay, if you get any error, you just need what you need to do. Oh my God, why my mouse is not working? My mouse is not working. Sorry for this. Yeah, can you provide me the mouse? Okay, just wait. I need to. I'm connecting external mouse. Now it's okay. Thanks for providing me the mouse. Okay, so for copying from command line, you need to do this thing, copy, and yes, you need to say. You need to enter, and then you need to paste over here. So now inside, I'm working inside Linux. So whenever you are working inside Linux, you need to write sudo for providing root access. Why we were getting error previously? Because our Docker does not have root access. So for providing root access, you need to write sudo. But inside Windows, maybe you will not get the error. If you get the error, you just need to go to Google and you will write how to provide root access to your Docker container, and you will get the you will get the relevant suggestion from a developer, and you just carry out that, and the error will go away. So I need to provide my password. Don't forget my password. Okay, so it got hanged. It's working, I guess. Come on, dude. Again, it's giving me error. Repository name must be lowercase. Oh ho ho. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So what was the error? The error was basically the repository name should be in small letters. So let me write it Mission Fury Docker file like this. So I need to replace it over here as well. Mission Fury, and over here as well. Everything should be in small letter. Okay, maybe I just need to change this thing rather than changing everything. Mission, I'm gonna undo the changes and I'm gonna just change my container name, which is written down over here. I'm gonna just make it small letter, and rest of the things will stay the way they are. Repository name must be lowercase. What the heck? Okay. So Mission Fury. Let me copy it from here. Where is this? Another command here. And how do you get a solution? Where is it? I lost it. Okay, over here. Let me try one more time. Let me try over here, build image. This is Mission Fury. Okay, the project name is Mission Fury, and I'm gonna replace the Mission Fury with. So let me try without providing. Okay, now it's working. So I just removed the repository name. I just provided Django and Lattice. I just removed the project name from there. Now it's working. As you can see, it is building. But make sure if you want to provide the project name behind the when you are building, you just need to do two things. Your project name should be small letter, because if it didn't work over here, what I was going to do, I was going to change my project. I was going to rename my project name from here. So right, but now I don't need to rename everything because now it will work perfectly. So because now it's working. It is giving me two warning that you are using peak version, older version. I'm not going to upgrade because that's not going to tease me in the future. I don't need to upgrade anything. So now it is successfully. You must see these two lines at the end of this execution. So if you see these two lines, that means that your code is working perfectly. Successfully built and successfully tagged. So these two lines must be there. And now you can press enter, and yeah. So now your Docker image is built. Okay, now let's move ahead. Okay, so you will get an error when you will run Docker method from command palette. Okay, so as I told you, whenever you run this, you will get the error. This was the different error. You may receive another error as well, which was related to the root access. So if you are working inside Linux, you need to copy this line, and before this Docker line, you need to write root sudo. So sudo will give the root access to every command, so that window will not create any hurdle while running or building your project. Okay, so now step number, here you will get error for solution. Okay, now step number 14. Okay, now you can see by Docker ps-a. So now you have built your image, which is Mission Fury Django Lattice. No, this is Django Lattice. So now you can see which image is running currently. So as you can see, there is no image right now, but once step number 13. Okay, step number 15 for removing images. Okay, that we don't need to remove any image right now, and we don't need to check how many images are there. Images mean container. For stopping the container, press this. You don't need to stop any container because you're not running any container right now. You just build the container. You did not run it. So step number 16, click on the Docker in a VS Code. Okay, go to VS Code and click Docker. Where is Docker? Here is the Docker. And when you will click the Docker, I'm already getting this thing. I'm seeing my containers that are built already. So you can see I built which container I built right now. I built this one 3 minutes ago. As you can see, it is giving me 3 minutes ago. I built this container 3 minutes ago. Is there any other container? 4 months ago. So you can see if you're getting confused which container you built right now, because I have so many containers. So you can confirm it by clicking the container. So it's saying latest. This one I built 3 minutes ago. So this is the latest container in which my web app lies. So click on the Docker in a VS Code. When you click the Docker, okay, so now you will get an error over here. Actually, that's not an error. When you will click Docker on a side panel of VS Code, you will get an error because Docker is not registered as root. As I told you, whenever you run Docker, you will get error because Docker is not registered as root file or root tool. You need to provide root access to your Docker container. So for using Docker without sudo, you need to follow this blog. Okay, so if you are on Linux and you don't want to write every time sudo, and you want your Docker to work properly, just go to this link, and let me open up the link for you. Maybe this link is already open in my web app. In my web, just go to this link, and where is the link? This is not the link. Okay, it is over here. God damn it. I'm not finding it anywhere. Okay, let me open up from here. System is not working properly. Yeah, it's teasing me a lot. You cannot imagine how hard right now it is for me to use this laptop. I don't know why it's working every time in the main time it's stopped working. So okay, all right, so without wasting any time, you need to write these lines inside your where you need to run these lines inside this template inside this command line. So you will first of all you will run sudo group at docker, and then you will run this line. You don't need to change any you don't need to bring any change in these lines. And once you run, you need to run this line, and till this line. You will run till this line, and once you run this, you need to restart your computer. And when you restart your computer or laptop, and then you will click Docker, and you will not get any error, and you will see all the images that you have built, all the containers that you have built. But before that, you will get an error. So I have provided you the solution as well, thanks to me. Let's move ahead. And okay, so next step number 17. Now we will push the image to registry. Okay, so now we are moving more closer to the deployment part. For creating Azure registry, go to the Azure portal and create resource, and then go to container registry. Go to container. Okay, so I have told you how to create registry and how to create resource yesterday as well, but I'm going to repeat it again today because I'm very generous. So let's go back to your Azure command. Okay, so now you need to refresh. Okay. Whenever you will go to your dashboard or your portal of Azure, go back to home. Okay, now when you get back to home, all right, you need to create a resource. First of all, you need a resource for every single thing. And for resource, let me write over here, resource groups. And I have so many resource groups over here. You can see these are irrelevant resource groups because only relevant resource group is released me. But if you want to create your own resource group, you can click add, and it will open up a new tab for you. See, it's working. So just hold on. Have some patience, have some coffee, then come back and it will open up because it's Microsoft. Okay. It's taking long, dude. Come on. I'm already running out of time. Let me refresh it. So let me click again, add, and it's again नाराज हो गया है लगता ही है. It's not saying I don't want to work this time. Let me refresh it. Maybe we have internet problem. Getting slower. Maybe this is the peak time. We need to change our webinar series time. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a quick. I'm not gonna run it again because you just need to go add and you will see the form as you saw the yesterday. So if you don't know how to create a registry, go follow up the last lecture I gave and come back. You will go there and you will see how you create resource group. You just need to fill up some requirements. You will select you will see a form and you need to fill up that form and you need to select where you want to create your registry, your area or zone. Let's say you want to create in US or you want to create in Asia. So once you're done with this, go back to home and write down over here, which is go to Azure and create resources, then go to container registry. Okay, now write down container registry because we are working on containers, which is Docker containers. So we need to create container registries as well. So over here, I'm going to say container registry. I'm going to click container registry. Okay, so once you open this container registry, you need to select your resource group. So resource group is the step number one. You need to create resource group. Once you're done with this thing, as I have already one resource group, which is Relief Me, I'm not going to use all the resource groups. I'm just gonna use Relief Me. Maybe it can give me error because I'm already running one web app. It can give me error. So you need to be prepared for that thing because that's the second experiment. Because I'm going to build second web app on my free account. Free mean you cannot create multiple web apps. That's a limitation from Microsoft. Okay, so let me give it a shot. Relief Me. I have chosen the resource group. So registry name. What are we going to call our registry name? I mean, yeah. So what is registry? Registry is basically a file or folder, not a file. It's a folder in which you are going to store your projects. Just, I mean, think, uh, just think it in this way. Like GitHub. GitHub is a folder in which you are putting your multiple projects. So this is similar to GitHub. This is a registry, a folder in which you can put multiple projects, multiple containers, and container itself is a project. I'm going to name it. I'm going to call it. मसलों की दुकान मसलों की दुकान because today I have मसलों की दुकान and I'm gonna say East Asia SKU standard. I'm gonna keep it standard. Review and create. Let's create it, and inshallah we will not face any other problem. Yeah, so everything is okay, and let's create it. Be quick. It's creating for us and it's ready to go. All right, so let's जब तक we create हो रहा है, let's move ahead. Fill the requirement and please create. Make sure you enable admin user. Okay, we will do this later. We will enable admin user as well. Okay, step number 18. Now you will log into your registry using Azure CLI. What is Azure CLI? Azure CLI is command line way of entering into your cloud through command line. So Azure CLI, you need to, first of all, you need to install Azure CLI. You can install Azure CLI from command line by simply saying, where is it? My mouse. Just work for a few minutes more, boy, and we are done. Okay, so you will log into Azure CLI, then install Azure CLI by typing sudo apt install Azure CLI. So I have already installed Azure CLI. You will need to run this line for installing yourself. Okay, so write this command on command line of VS Code AZACL. Okay, for logging inside your Azure registry, because you need to push your container from localhost to Azure registry, Azure folder, because you are going to deploy your web app in Azure, not in your localhost. So I need to push my folder or my project into Azure folder. So I'm going to do first of all login inside my Azure cloud. So for logging inside my Azure cloud, I'm going to write this thing over here, paste, and I'm going to pass registry name. So what's the registry name? The registry name which I created right now is, go to resource, and it's Maslo Ki Dukaan. And where you will see the registry name, you can see the registry name by going to maybe access keys. Yeah, you can see, you will go to access keys and you will see registry name over here, and you will copy the registry name. Okay, so now, as I told you, we need to enable admin user. So also enable admin user from here as well. Yeah, so you will see again user registry name and username both are same, so you can pick any of these two. Go back, and over here you will just type the name Azure ACR login. That's a way of interacting with Azure CLI. When you run it, you will get it. Okay, so it's saying login succeeded. Everything is working perfectly so far. So if you have come so far, let me see how many participants are left. Okay, so there are very few participants, the luckiest participants who are enjoying coding with me in this part of time. Literally, uh, this is the most important thing you need to learn, guys. After this thing, what are we going to do? Now we will push this to our repository. Okay, so I guess we were over here. Now we have login, and now go to Docker Compose YAML file and change. After successfully login, go to Docker Compose YAML file and change image name with the link of your web app, and then at slash. Okay, let me show you what I mean by this. Go to your Azure command line. Okay, so over here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say overview. I'm going to copy this thing, login server name, which is Azure, this Maslo Ki Dukaan, whatever it is. It's not working. Why? Okay. Okay. So where is it? Image. Okay. So go to Docker. So over here in image, just replace the name and paste it over here. Okay. So now one more thing you need to carry over here, which is slash image name here, and also latest. Your image name was, what was your image name? It was Django and latest. As you can see, how do I know my image name is Django and latest? Let me go to my Azure, and you can see my image name is Django and its tag name is latest. So this, after the column, you will see tag name. So you will write tag name. So it's perfect. Now you need to save it, save the changes, and now go back to webdemo.azure.io. Okay, so step number 18. After all this, you will run Docker Compose up. Okay. Now now we are just left with few small steps. Docker Compose up. Okay, so now you will see this thing. Just click Docker Compose up and select this first one, Docker Compose.yml, and you will select this thing. And now you can see it is running over here. Yeah, so it is downloading Django packages and it is building everything for you. So we are very close to the deployment of our first Django web app, and until it's stalled, let me move ahead. Okay, after this you would run Docker Compose and choose first option. Okay, step number 18. Now we will push this to our repository. In Docker section, click over your image, press right click and select push. Okay. So now you have built your image again, and now let it first build. Okay, so now done, and everything is ready to go. Terminate. When you see this thing, the creating webinar Django terminal will be reused by blah blah blah. Press enter, and now you're done. Okay. So let's see where is your image. Forever ago, this is not our image because it was created very well. Leave me there, so it is over here. Yeah, okay, go to images. You see again. Now it is the repository in the Docker section. Click your image first, right click. Okay. This is my image. I'm going to click my run. I'm going to push everything. So now it's going to ask me the registry name. So what was my registry name? Maslow Ki Dukaan. So I'm going to select this registry name, Maslow Ki Dukaan, and yeah, okay. Confirm escape. You can tag image name. Yes, I want this image name. Yeah, as you can see below here, it is logging in, and it is pushing everything to that repository. Super, it's working. It will take some time because it will be pushing every single thing to your folder. So it's like it's pushing the code to the Azure folder, which we created called Maslow Ki Dukaan. Yeah, yes. Until it is running. Yeah, after successfully step number 18, this will okay. In step number 18, did we miss something? We run YAML file, and once we run this thing, Django latest. So after all this, you will run Docker Composer first option. You will push this to your repository. Okay, now we have done this thing as well. Step number 18, go to Docker and then go to Docker, not Docker, and then go to repository registry, and then select Azure.
Guys, just hold on for a second. He just reconnecting. Just hold on for a second.
Not working, man. What the hell is my laptop doing this? Hello. Yeah, okay, now I'm audible. All right, thank you. Oh, sorry for waiting. Today, everything is working against me. So where were we? We were saying now go to Docker and then go to repositories, registry, sorry, and then select Azure. Okay, so where is registries? All right, so over here, you will first go to Docker, and inside Docker you will see images, and below the images you will see registries. What are you saying?
Can you please share screen?
All right, sorry. Thank you for reminding. Can you see it right now? Tell me when you are okay with the screen so that we can move ahead. The internet should stay for maybe 2-3 minutes more. Still okay, let me reconnect screen. What the hell is messaging? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Guys, are you seeing the screen? Please respond me. Okay, let me. Okay, where were we? All right, so we were here after successfully login. Go to. Yeah, so we in this. I just forgot where. were we. Yeah, we logged in first, and then we after successfully logged in, we just Docker, which is the Docker Compose, and then Docker Compose up. Then we push this. Okay, now okay, we just pushed everything to our. Can you give me the mouse? I'm gonna just push again everything. Maybe this time it should not. Okay, it's working. Logging in, and it's working. So for internet one, let's move to the next step. And then we will select Azure. Go to the Docker and then go to registries and select Azure. Okay, where is my Docker? Okay, so now I will go to registries. Okay, now maybe we can encounter one problem over here. If it didn't work, uh, there is a bug. Maybe it is resolved. I'm not sure about this thing, but previously when I was doing this thing before 1 year ago, I guess, or maybe 6 months, or I just forgot the date. It didn't work for me because before that it stopped in between. So when I pushed it again, the files were not properly aligned. So I mean, it was just giving me the error. But this is the step. You need to remember the steps. Uh, so until it is running, I'm going to go to Azure registries and I'm going to open it. I'm going to open Azure. Okay. So as you can see, my folder, my registry must look Dukaan over here, and maybe let me refresh it. Are you hearing me? Okay. Yeah, so it's not pushed yet because it is still pushing over here. Okay, internet is not working fine. for me. This is my another web, so I can show you that when this is done, how this will look like. So you will see Django container inside the Maslow ki Dukaan folder. So right now there is no Django folder, so that means that it is still pushing the changes or still pushing the files inside, still pushing the container to the cloud. Maybe I need to rerun it. Okay, let me push it again. I pray to God that this time it should work. Right now I have two registries. Yeah. So I have shown you the output. I'm just waiting for technical input of this web. So technically it is saying larger layer existed in pushing. It's not pushing. Still stuck over here. Okay, so let me stop it again. So guys, I'm not gonna, okay, so it is giving me the error. There is no time to debug it right now. I'm gonna show you how the output will look like. So I told you you will see Django container inside Maslow ki Dukaan registry. So it's like, okay, so when you see Django container, what you are gonna do, you will open up this container and let me show you what you will do. You will ask you, okay, now go to container registries and then select Azure. You will, okay, push. When you will open up this thing, you just need to right click and you need to select deploy image to Azure services, Azure App Services. I have done it already. I'm not going to do it again. You will just need to deploy image to Azure App Services. And when you will click this, you will see a command palette will open up over here and it will give you certain questions. What will be those questions? It will ask you, let's say let's say select. Okay, it will ask you for few questions like select your service or select your which one Azure service are you using? Not Azure service, subscription. Yeah, so you are gonna select Azure for student because you're using a student subscription. Secondly, it will ask you which resource group you want to push, you want to use. So you will use Maslow ki Dukaan because that's a unique resource group. Not resource group, that was registry name, not resource group name. So your resource group was Relief Me. So we created resource Relief Me and then we created Maslow ki Dukaan registry inside that resource group. So you will use resource group. You will pick up the resource group which you created, which was Relief Me. And thirdly, when you pick up your resource group, now it will again ask you select create app service plan, and write a random name for your app. Okay, now it will open up another palette, command palette. It will ask you create app service plan and write a create app service plan, and you will pick up one and you will select create one. You will click create one and it will prompt you to insert the name of your web app. So you will insert any random name for your app which you want to create. So once you enter the name, any unique name, press enter, and everything is all set up, and it will run every configuration, and the app will be created for you. But now it will not run. Let's say I gave this name, Docker Demo App 3, right? You can see on the screen. Now, okay, again, one more question it will ask you, I forgot. It will ask you to add global unique name for your web app. So I gave this global unique name, which was Azure, okay, which was Azure Furqan app. You can see over here, it is my global unique name. So next step will be the final step, which will be go to Azure, open your app, click on the application setting and choose add new setting. What does it mean? Once you're done with this thing, go to Azure, open your app. Where is my app? So let's say my app is over here. I just gave the name Azure Web App Demo 2 to my app. All right. So I will go over here and I would go to click on the application setting and choose add new setting. Where is the application setting? Maybe it was container setting. No, not container setting. Let's go back to home. Let's go to our registry. And when you go to your app, click on application setting and choose add new setting. Okay. Maybe it's over here. Open your app. This is my app. I'm going to Azure. Let me write over here. This is go to Azure in VS Code. Open your app. Which one app? This is my app. I'm gonna open it. So it's gonna open it. Okay, we have. Okay, we took more. Maybe we are about to complete our 2 hours. All right. So there are still some things. Maybe we should end up over here and we should continue from the next day, because there are still some steps, or maybe I should explain you verbally. What do you guys suggest me? Tell me. I mean, what do you guys want? Should I explain to you verbally? I mean, these few steps are left. You can see my screen. These few steps are left. I have written down every single step over here in this file. So, do you want me to continue from the next day, or you want me to complete this right now and tell you everything verbally? Because we are receiving one error right now due to internet connection. Let me try again. Suggest me, guys. What do you want? Let me try it again. Maybe it will work this time. Hello? Are you there? Or I just made you sleep? Fariha, Muhammad Fahad, Muhammad Haziq, Muhammad Waqas, and Yasin, and we have some fellows over here. Yeah, guys, do you want me to complete? Let me see. Can't see. Zayan is saying screen is visible. No, sir. Don't leave everything to my wish. My wishes are very, very. क्या बताऊं? Okay, so maybe we should put it on the next day. What do you suggest? What do we have in the next day? Can you open up the... Just wait a second. Okay, Zafar is seeing what do we have in the next day. We have another session next day. That's why I'm asking you. So do you guys have any question regarding this thing what we built right now so far? Do you guys have any question in your mind? Zafar is checking. So we have building a chatbot. We have done. Okay, so now we will deploying on Azure or web app. And now the next step we have very important thing, which is building a facial recognition system using Azure Cognitive Services. All right, so maybe we don't get much time for this thing as well. All right, so okay, I'm gonna try to explain you verbally because we have a very long workshop the next day as well. So maybe we don't get much time to complete this one, but I'm gonna explain you. जो रह गए हैं उनको थोड़ा बहुत बता दें. I'm gonna explain you verbally so that. Okay, where were we? Okay, we were on step number this one. Okay, so now you will go to Docker and go to registries and then select Azure. You will select your project and you just push. Okay, we have pushed our project so far. हमने अपना project push कर दिया है. And after pushing your project, you will deploy. Press right click and. Okay, so I told you. I have told you that you will go to Azure and you will go to your web app, and in the web app. Yeah, so in the, okay, so over here in Docker, in registries, and you will go to your web app, and in web app, inside web app, you will select your container. You will select your container which is latest. Latest is the tag of your container, and you will select deploying image to Azure App Service. This will deploy your image to an app service. Now you need to carry out just 2 more tasks. Your app is deployed, but it will not work properly right now. Okay, so it is installing. It is installing the services. Maybe this time it will work, inshallah. Yeah, so it will deploy the web app on the cloud, but it will not work. Why it will not work? Because you have not specified the port number. You know, you remember we specified the port number in the start, which was 8000. So you need to specify the port number to Azure Cloud as well. How do you specify the port number to Azure Cloud? You will go to this. Okay. Fine, sir. Go to Azure in VS Code. Fine, sir. Go to Azure. Maybe we were here. Right. So go to Azure in VS Code. Open your app. Click on the application settings and choose Add New Settings. So over here, let me write. Go to okay. So over here, you will come over here and you will select application settings and you will say add new settings. When you will select add new settings, you will be given or prompted with a, okay, so yeah, so enter new settings. So over here, what I'm going to write this thing. I'm going to write website code. Right, I'm not going to write because this will create problems for me because I was stuck in the previous step. So you will write website code over here. Everything will be in the in this format. So you don't need everything will be in capital letter. All right. Once you write this thing, press enter. Again, this command palette will open up, and in the next command palette you will write 8000. You will write 8000. 8000 is the port number. Once you write 8000, press enter, and you are done. Finally, you are done. And now go back to settings.py. Okay. Once you're done with this thing, go back to settings.py. Where is settings.py file? Over here. We created settings.py file over here. Okay. Now in the settings.py file, you remember we just passed allowed host. Now you have the IDE. Now you have the URL on which your web app is being hosted. How do you get your web app? You will go to your registry, and inside registry you will go to no, not in the registry. Go to your home. Inside home, go to your let's say we build it. Okay, so let's say go to your Azure Web App Demo 2. This sign. I mean, if you have this sign, this is app service. Go to your app service. Inside the app service, this will be created from command line, which you created previously. Inside the app service, go to your container settings. Not in container setting. It was apps. Where is the app folder? Okay, now we have our app. This is our app. We are inside our app. I forgot. So this is the URL. Just copy the URL from here. Copy the URL from here. Go back to the settings.py file and paste it over here. Just make sure that you put it inside double quotes and remove this HTTPS from start. And just save this thing and escape cancel. Let me cancel it. Okay. Once you save it, you need to push the changes again. How will you push the changes again? You will go back again, command palette, you will say docker compose up, press enter. It will, you need to again compile your container, and then you need to again push it. Sorry, compose. So once you compile your container, you need to push the changes again to your cloud. So how will you push the changes to the cloud? Go to Docker, go to your recent created image. Okay, so now go to Docker, this is Docker. And now my recent, over here you will see many containers. So just run that container which is recently created. So let's say this one is recently created because it is saying 19 minutes ago. Rest of the containers are saying 2 hours, 3 hours ago. So I would just restart this container. Push. I will push the changes to this container. I will right click and I will say push. Once I push the changes, I will click push. It will push the changes again to my container, to my repositories. And once I push, I would come here and I would restart my web app. Once you restart your web app, go to this link and click it. Maybe it will work. And you will see your web app is deployed. This is your first web app. This is being deployed. So congratulations, you have deployed your first web app. And sorry for the problems you encountered because this is Pakistan. You can encounter so many technical issues. Murphy law. Do you have any questions so that we can wrap up? We are moving towards the end. Finally, we have deployed our web app. Thank you for being with me quite long, and thanks to me as well, who stayed with you quite long because it was so hard putting something in production is really hard. प्रोडक्शन में कोई भी चीज़ डालना कभी भी आसान नहीं होता. बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज में यार डेवलप करना बहुत आसान होता है. दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी चीज़ें इन्वेंट हो जाती हैं. मसला तब आता है जब उनको प्रोडक्शन में डालते हैं. असल तुरम खान तब पता लगता है जब प्रोडक्शन में चल जाए. असल चीज़ तो वही होती है. सो खैर बात निकलेगी तो बड़ी दूर तक जाएगी, फिर उंगलियाँ भी उठेंगी. Anyways, any question? I'm already tired, so I'm not gonna wait quite long for your question. So be थोड़ा जल्दी करना सवाल पूछने में. And I'm tired of this laptop. एक बार webinar खत्म हो जाए, I'm gonna break this laptop. this laptop. All right, Yasin. Thank you, Yasin. Thank you, Sameer. I hope so you got this thing because अगर कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो उसका मतलब है was clear. और ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि कोई क्वेश्चन ना हो, या तो कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया या सब कुछ समझ में आ गया है. और इन दिस केस आई एम 90% श्योर कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया. हाँ बिल्कुल, यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल होगा. इट विल बी अवेलेबल ऑन यूट्यूब वेरी सून. और एंड ऑन यूट्यूब yeah, it will be available on YouTube. Again, I'm going to tell you, if you encounter any technical issue, you can directly contact me on LinkedIn personally, and I'm going to respond you back that what is the step. But do contact me with a screenshot of the error. Don't contact me like I'm getting this error and tell me the solution, because I'm not God, programming God. लोग होते हैं अक्सर बोलते हैं भाई मेरे कंपाइलर में एरर आ रहा है. कंपाइलर में लाखों एरर होते हैं भाई, 1 करोड़ एरर होते हैं कंपाइलर में. कोई खुदा थोड़ी मुझे पता लग जाए, ख्वाब आ जाएगी कि भाई ये वाला एरर आया इस बंदे को. ओके, हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. पहली दफ़ा किसी को भी समझ में नहीं आया, मैंने तो मुझे भी समझ में नहीं आया था. और या डालने तो दो यार. लिंक ही पड़ गई. यूट्यूब पे डालने दो. यूट्यूब पे डाल दूँ, फिर जो है वो लिंक दे देंगे. It takes 4 hours. Maybe you're talking about YouTube link, or you're talking about LinkedIn link. I just just gave my LinkedIn link yesterday. You can see the chat. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
So we are winding up. And we will see you on Tuesday. And next workshop is on Tuesday, and we expect huge amount of practice before that because it's gonna be 10 times more difficult than the first previous one.